All right, guys, so Christian Smalls went on Fox News and talked to Tucker Carlson, and this is creating quite a firestorm. So first of all, shout out to Case Study QB for getting this clip for us. Now, I want to play it for you, and you're going to understand why the people who are going after Chris 100% did not listen to the interview. Or if they did, then they are just lying about what happened. Okay? So let's watch. Everybody go into it with an open mind, and we'll see whether or not he did a good job.
Sandy Cortez spends a lot of time telling you that she's on the side of the worker. She's like a modern wobbly. She's the Walter Reuther of our day. And that's why last year she vowed to...
Let me just say real quick, the fact that he calls her Sandy Cortez is so unnecessarily condescending. Like, just call her Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or call her AOC. Like, he's purposefully trying to be smug, and you know what? Mission accomplished, Tucker.
Stand alongside striking workers at Amazon's Staten Island warehouse, and we're for that because they need the help. But at the last minute, Sandy Cortez bailed on the whole thing. And that...
Now, look, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of backstory now that you don't know, and honestly, I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but I got to keep it real. That's what I do. So, Christian and I ate lunch with, Crystal and I ate lunch with Christian Smalls yesterday, and it was actually right after he had taped this interview. And Chris tells us, I spoke to the people who invited me on Tucker's show. It was his staff. It wasn't Tucker himself, didn't reach out, of course. And basically, Chris said to them, look, I'll come on to talk about the union. I'll come on to talk about organizing, but I'm not really interested in perpetuating this AOC thing. Like, it's over. So, and, you know, the impression that Chris got from the Fox News people is, okay, fair enough, come on. Now, that's what happened behind the scenes. Now, in front of the scenes, look at how Tucker is setting up the segment on the Amazon labor union. He's setting it up from the perspective of AOC bad. So why is Tucker doing this segment? Make no mistake about it. What he's doing is exploiting a rift on the left and trying to do divide and conquer. That's his real purpose for doing this. Now, you might say, well, hold on, Kyle. Isn't Tucker just making the exact same criticism that you and Crystal made the other day? There's a very big difference. The difference is Crystal was doing a good faith criticism where the point of it was, hey, AOC, you sort of left these guys high and dry and flaked at the last minute. Next time, please do better. Like, make up for it. Do better. Go to the next union drive. Tucker does not have that goal. It's not a good faith criticism. It's a bad faith criticism. The whole purpose is to say, AOC bad, Democrats bad, they don't support the workers, let's divide and conquer the left here. But what you're about to see is brilliant because Chris Smalls doesn't take the bait and he dismantles it in a gorgeous way.
That infuriated labor organizers who just won a big vote to unionize at the Staten Island facility. Now, Amazon is stepping up its effort to crush the union. Amazon has just banned words like union on its employee chat app. Christian Smalls is a union leader at Amazon, and we're happy to have him join us now. Christian, thanks so much for coming on. Were you surprised that Sandy Cortez, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who has said repeatedly that she's on the side of the worker against the corporation, wasn't standing with you at the barricades?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it wasn't just her. It was all of them pretty much, you know. It's not
fair.
You know, I don't want to make it just between us and AOC because, you know, a lot of them didn't show up. And, you know, once again, we have no ill will against them. We know that whether they showed up or not, they didn't make or break our election. We just...
Boom. Here's why that is absolutely pitch perfect. When he says, look, it's not just about AOC. None of the politicians showed up. And then he goes on to say, and I don't have any ill will towards any of them. What Christian is doing there is he's saying, look, when we criticize, when there's like an internal left fight or disagreement, the point is, hey, please do better next time. Like, show up for us next time. Make amends. Like, let's get together and actually try to get this thing accomplished. Try to get more people in the union. So he's not He's not making it, a bitter personal feud or a I'm going to shame you harder than you can shame me fest. His eyes are on the prize. He's focused on the goal. He's focused on making unions bigger. He's focused on getting people higher wages and better benefits and more vacation time. Tucker's just trying to make it a personal beef thing. Tucker's just trying to divide and conquer the left and exploit the rift. And Chris Smalls 100% did not take the bait. His initial response was, look, this isn't just about AOC. None of them showed up, including Tucker, your beloved Republican politicians who you oftentimes simp for.
Had to continue to organize.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird moment.
There was a jump cut there. I don't know if you guys noticed that. This video is from Case Study QB. I don't know if this is the whole interview. I don't know if Case Study QB did that jump cut or if that was in the actual Fox News interview, but I do know that the interview was pre-recorded. So it's possible that Fox did that jump cut. Anyway, let's continue.
Because, I mean, I'm on the right. I've never been particularly pro-union, but it does seem like...
He says, I'm on the right. I've never been particularly pro-union. Okay, so why are you talking about this, Tucker? So why are you covering this, Tucker? If you're on the right and you're, quote, not particularly pro-union, then why are you talking about this? It's the exact thing I just told you guys. That's why he's covering this. Because he views this as an opportunity to exploit a rift on the left and divide and conquer. That's why he's doing it. But Chris Smalls handled it perfectly, did not take the bait, and he's sticking to his main points, which are about workers, labor unions, better pay, better benefits, etc. And honestly, he's dismantling him. But what Tucker's about to say is even more interesting. Because now I'll come back and break this down for you further, but he just said, I'm on the right, I'm not particularly pro-union. But now you're going to hear him say, well, I'm kind of rooting for you. Okay, I'll explain why he's rooting for Chris after watch.
Amazon needs some counterbalance. Like, it's this huge company, the workers have no power, and maybe we could, I don't know, share a little power with people who work there. So that's my view.
Should that be the case all across the country, Tucker? Should that be for every corporation? Should that be for every company? You can't say, I'm not particularly pro-union, and then say those things. You should be pro-union, and then these things would apply to all the workers throughout the country. But he doesn't support that, and again, I'll explain why at the end, because he actually accidentally explains why he's taking this particular position on this particular issue, and with this particular company.
Anyway, so tell us where you are in your organizing efforts.
Well, right now, we're fighting for a contract. Amazon's disputing the election results. So we're in walking and chewing bubble gum at the same time. We're fighting for a contract. We're preparing for another election in 2 weeks on April 25th. We're going to be voting at a second location directly across the building that we just unionized. So we're in the thick of a fight right now, a legal battle. And, we just have to stay grounded and pretty much begin our campaign all over again.
You'd think that Amazon would be...
Another jump cut there, I think I saw.
...open to a union, wouldn't you? It's a very progressive company. Why do you think they're trying to thwart you from organizing?
I don't know if he's actually this dumb or if he's just pretending to be this dumb, but they're not a progressive company. What, because they virtue signal on, identity issues? You think they're a progressive company? You think they're going to, voluntarily pay their workers super well and, give them health care and give them a tremendous amount of paid vacation time? You think that economically they're going to be progressive because socially they act progressive? No, the reason why they act socially progressive is because they think that'll improve their profits. And obviously all they care about is their profits, which is why they want to keep wages as low as possible, which is why they want to treat the workers as shitty as possible. The only reason why some corporations have gone, progressive on social issues is because they want to virtue signal and sell to as many people as possible, including, gay people, including women, including trans people, including every minority group under the sun, every religion under the sun. That's why they're socially progressive. Now, look, okay, good. I'm happy that they try to appeal to everybody, but also at the same time, it's not because of pure ideological motives, obviously. Is he actually baffled? Wow, they're a progressive company. I wonder why they're not pro-union. Are you really that dumb, or are you just pretending to be that dumb? I don't know. I'll let you guys answer that.
Amazon hasn't been unionized in this country since the beginning of its existence, and they're very anti-union. You know, they created a system that hires and fires people. They created a system that they have full control of the working people, and you know, having a union obviously brings representation for the workers that'll benefit the workers at the bottom, like myself. Hourly associates, entry-level workers that don't get the right to negotiate. So forming a union gives us the right to collective bargain with the company, form a contract to protect ourselves. So that's exactly what we're trying to do with the Amazon Labor Union. We're hoping that we'll be a catalyst for something that'll take place nationwide.
Well, I certainly am rooting for you. I mean,
another jump cut there. That was interesting. Oh, Tucker said he's rooting for him.
Maybe if they throw some more woke slogans at you, you'll forget you can't feed your family.
Right.
Christian, I appreciate your coming on. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Creepy ass laugh. Okay, so that last thing he said there about wokeness, like, oh, maybe if they throw some more woke slogans at you, you'll forget you can't feed your family. That is the reason why he's supporting this particular union. He only supports unions when it's quote-unquote woke corporations. And this isn't conjecture. He just told you, I'm generally not pro-union. Okay, so why are you supporting this particular union? Because he doesn't like Jeff Bezos. He doesn't like quote-unquote woke corporations. And Marco Rubio actually wrote an op-ed on this about a year or two ago, where he said, in no uncertain terms, like, look, I only support unions when the like ownership or management is quote-unquote woke. It's like I want to own the woke managers and the woke corporations and the woke owners and basically punish them, make them pay a little more, make them look after their workers a little bit more. But again, notice, he doesn't support these workers' rights for all the workers in the country, with all the companies in the country. He admits it. He says it. Like, okay, so what? You only deserve a labor union and workers' rights and good pay and vacation time and benefits, etc., if you have like a virtue signal-y boss? I mean, look at how hollow those politics are. That's not a true working class politics. Working class politics, it's a universal approach. It's a broad-based approach. It's about rights. It's about everybody deserves these things. Because these things are the building blocks and the foundation of a good life. But Tucker only supports it when it's to like own the wokes. It's so hollow and it's so stupid. But look, hey, at least he's being honest. He's saying, I'm not pro-union, but maybe in this case, okay, because I don't like wokeness. Okay, bro. Nice politics you got there. So ultimately, look, what's the conclusion? Why did Tucker do it? It's no mystery. He wants to divide and conquer the left, exploit the rift, make the left fight amongst themselves. And also, in this particular narrow instance, he could support a union because he doesn't like wokeness and he wants to stick it to like the woke owners. But make no mistake about it, Tucker oftentimes support these standard issue establishment Republicans who have the worst possible labor politics. And all the policies they want hurt workers. They're not for a $15 minimum wage. They're not for universal health care. They're not for, paid vacation time by law. So really, it's just a fake populist tap dance that he's engaged in. Now, look, Christian handled this beautifully. He did. He handled it as good as humanly possible. And he was still getting shit. Christian was getting shit on Twitter from some portion, some small-ish segment of the left where, and by the way, what they did was really disingenuous. So somebody tweeted, I think it was like the screenshot over, hold on, this one. So I think it was this screenshot. It has some banner down there that's like, down here that's really, dickish to AOC. And so what the accounts did is they would tweet this screenshot. They didn't show the video. They just tweeted the screenshot and said something like, this ain't it. Or this ain't it, chief. So in other words, like, why the hell are you going on Tucker? And that's just so disingenuous because if you watch the piece, Chris Smalls doesn't take the bait. He doesn't take the bait. He doesn't bash the left. And the implication from that tweet is like, well, now Chris Smalls is abandoning the left or bashing the left or whatever. And they're now throwing him under the bus because he's daring to talk to somebody who's on the right, somebody who's conservative. And by the way, the point of doing this is not really about Tucker. It's about the fact that he has 3 million viewers. Now, look, is this going to convince 100% of them? No. I don't know what percentage it's going to convince, but even if it convinces 10% or 20% or 30%, whatever the number is, okay, well, these are all people too, and they might be working at some company that has shitty working conditions as well. And, maybe they will be more inclined to vote for a labor union at their own job having watched this, or maybe they'll be more inclined to help the Amazon labor union because they watched this. When Chris Smalls won, the union election at the place he used to work, the warehouse he used to work in Staten Island, he didn't go around saying, okay, what are your politics? Who did you vote for? What's your position on gay marriage? Or whatever. He didn't do that. You build solidarity by putting all those things aside and saying, look, whatever our other disagreements, do you want higher wages? Do you want better health care? Do you want more vacation time? Do you want to have an actual say in the working conditions at your damn job? You do? Okay, well then let's work on this together. Vote for the union. So you have to reach across these divides in order to get these things done. You have to. And that's the only way you win. There's no way you win by having a little circle jerk with you and all your buddies who already agree on 100% of things. Like, congratulations on the fact that you have a perfectly pure character and you only associate with other people with a perfectly pure character. But you're destined to fail and be your own little subculture and subgroup from now until the end of time if that's what you want to do. So these people who are criticizing him are not serious about politics. They're just not. So it's good that he went on, and it's also good he didn't take Tucker's bait. What he did is outsmarted Tucker. He dismantled his framework, and he stuck to the original mission. The original mission was, unions good, and let's get more of them. And let's keep organizing, and let's keep fighting back so we can have higher wages and better benefits and more vacation time and better health care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, in conclusion, I've been babbling for a while here, but the bottom line is, you know what Chris Smalls knows? There is a substantive difference in terms of the context between a good faith criticism and a bad faith criticism. The reason why Tucker backed up Crystal when Crystal and AOC were going at it, and Crystal was like, hey, you sort of flaked on these guys, maybe don't do that, and how about show up next time? The reason why Christian Smalls backed Crystal is because Crystal had a good faith criticism and was saying, hey, can you please be better? We would like it if you don't mess up like this next time, please. That's why Chris Smalls backed up Crystal. Why Chris Smalls did not back up Tucker here and did not take the bait here is because Chris Smalls knows it's a bad faith criticism, and Tucker is just trying to fan the flames of an internal lefty fight. Exploit the rift, make the lefties fight amongst themselves while you laugh and watch from afar about how everything's on fire. Christian Smalls understands that, and so he handled it absolutely perfectly. And so any sort of criticism he's getting, people should immediately drop it because it makes no sense whatsoever. And by the way, pat myself on the back a little bit here. When Crystal and I had lunch with him yesterday, again, it was just after he taped this segment, and I told him, I was like, dude, do yourself a favor, don't read your Twitter mentions for like 3 or 4 days after this, because people are going to come after you, and they're going to be people who are supposed to be your allies. It's going to be a lot of lefties who come after you over it. And I was right. Now, thankfully, I do think it's a minority percentage. I don't know what percentage it is of lefties that are going after him, but certainly the majority are defending him because the majority have their head screwed on right, and they understand this is about getting out a pro-union message, getting out a pro-worker message, and organizing by any means necessary with however many people possible. And mission accomplished. If he had gone on there and he did take the bait and he did more harm than good, then I would be saying, all right, on this point you fucked up, on that point you fucked up. But he didn't do that. He handled it exactly right, and he deserves all the credit in the world.